setting up the entitlement section when creating a new leave policy. So let's navigate to Settings, Leave Tracker, and under Configuration we have Leave Policy. So you can click on the option Add Leave Policy to first create a new leave policy. And you can choose between whether this leave policy is going to be a fixed entitlement or a grant-based leave policy. So let's go with this option, experience-based entitlement. So I do have a fixed entitlement that has to be credited to the employees automatically. So after selecting this, click on Next. So before setting up the entitlement, we need to update the basic details of this leave policy. So let's give a name. You can also select a relevant color and an image if needed. You can set up a short code for this specific leave type. And then you're going to select the type of leave. So is this leave type belongs to a category of paid leaves, unpaid leaves, or it is on duty or restricted leaves. So we do have a specific option in the attendance module called on duty. So instead of using that feature, you can also create a new leave type under the category called on duty. And then you have restricted holidays. So when creating the public holiday list in Zoho People, if you have marked some holidays as restricted holidays, you need to make sure you're creating a leave type called restricted holiday for which an employee can apply for the restricted holiday. So after selecting the type, and then comes units. We have days and then we have hours. So you're going to select in which unit you're going to credit the leaves, like in terms of days or in terms of hours. You can write a description if you want. So after setting up the basic details, we have an option called policy validity. So here you can enter the valid from date. So let's say the valid from date is set to 1st of Jan 2024. So based on this valid from date, there are two different things. That is, all of your leave reports will get generated only after the valid from date. So you will not have any leave data before the validity from date. And the next one is, employees will be able to apply for leave only from the validity from date. So this leave policy actually exists in the system only after this date. And when it comes to setting up the expiry date, you can leave this option empty. There is only one particular scenario where you will be adding the expiry date. So let's take this example. Few years back, organizations wanted to create a new leave policy called COVID leave. So they were practically giving like 12 days of COVID leave a year. But this doesn't mean an employee will be getting COVID leave in all the future years. It is for one particular year, like once or twice a year. In that case, you can set a validity date called, let's say, 31st of December 2024. If this date is set, after this end date, employees will not have access to this particular leave type. So if you are creating a leave type, which is a recurring leave type, like earned leaves, casual leaves, sick leaves, these are all recurring leave types. The end date should always be left empty. So only in these exceptional use cases where you want the leave type to be closed by end of a year, you can mention the expiry date. So once all the basic details are set, click on Next. So then comes the entitlement section. So entitlement section is where you will be defining the actual leave policy of this particular leave type. So the first option that we have here is called effective after. So effective after helps you to define when an employee becomes eligible to this leave policy. I may be applicable to earn leave, but I am eligible to get earn leave only after completing 1 year within the organization. If this is the condition, you can add it under effective after. So I can mention 1 year. You can also go with the option months or days. Instead of date of joining, you can also use the condition date of confirmation. So basically, only after completing the effective after days, the employee is eligible to get leave balance for this particular leave type. But in case of sick leaves, employees are eligible from day one. So you can mention 0 years from date of joining. So after setting up effective after, then comes accrual. Accrual helps you to define when and how many number of days has to be added to employees. So you have the first option to define how many number of days. So let's say credit 1 day. And then comes when system has to add these leaves. You do have multiple options to choose from. So we have yearly, monthly, half-yearly. You can go with any of the approval option listed over here. So for example, let's take monthly. So I want earned leaves to be credited on a monthly basis. So credit 1 day on a monthly basis. So here we have an option called entitlement calendar. So I just click on this calendar. It gives me a very quick preview. So I'm saying every month 1 day is distributed. But however, using this entitlement calendar, you can adjust the number of days given to each and every month. So I say for January, I want 2 days to get added. And for July, 2 days to be added. For rest all the months, it is 1 day. So entitlement calendar helps you to adjust the leaves that has to be credited for each month. So instead of monthly, for example, if you go with half-yearly basis, you can still use the entitlement calendar to adjust the accrual for first half and then the second half of the year. So let's take an easy example that leaves will be credited on a yearly basis. So click on this drop down, yearly. So after setting up how many number of days and when the leave has to be added, the next step is determining the date and the month. So it can be 1st of January or it can be last day of January, or you can also use this options called policy date, joining date or birth date. Policy date is nothing but the day when you enter the policy, and this date is determined by the option effective after. And then we have joining date. So leave will be credited to employees every year on the date of joining. Or you can go with the option called birth date. So leaves will be credited to employees on their birth date. So you can select on which date the credit has to happen. And then comes the month. So when you say yearly, do you want the leaves to be added on January, or in case if you're following the financial year pattern, you can also go with the option April. So this is about the accrual. So when and how many number of days is getting added. We do have one more option here called prorate accrual. So we will have this scenario. The policy that we have set will work perfectly fine for your existing employees. What about new joiners? So a new joiner might join at any month in a year. It's not specifically 1st of Jan. So what if an employee is joining on 1st of February? This employee should not get complete 12 days. This employee should get leaves only from the date of joining. In order to prorate the leave balance based on date of joining of an employee, you need to add the prorate accrual option in the system. So this prorate accrual is split into 3 different conditions, that is start of policy, start and end of policy, and then we have do not prorate. Start of policy is simple as that. System will prorate the leave balance based on date of joining. So if an employee is joining on the month of February, employee will get only 11 days of leave, that is starting from February till December. The next option under prorate accrual is start and end of policy. So again, the date of joining proration will happen. In addition to date of joining proration, system can also revise the leave balance based on date of exit. Let's take the same example. Employee joins on 1st of February. So 11 days is getting added to employee's leave balance. And then the employee submits the resignation stating November will be the date of exit. Let's take 30th of November is the date of exit. So as soon as date of exit is entered into the system, it will revise the leave balance. So instead of 11, the employee's leave balance will be 10 because the employee is with your organization only from February till November. So if you want system to revise the leave balance as soon as date of exit is entered, you can use the option start and end of policy. And the last option that we have here is called do not prorate. As the name says, if you don't want system to prorate the leave balance, you can add do not prorate. In this case, irrespective of when an employee joins the organization, they will get the complete leave credit. So if we take the same example of an employee joining on February, if you use do not prorate, the employee will still get 12 days of earned leave. So these are all the 3 different prorate accrual options. What if you are not defining prorate accrual? So let's say I'm deleting the prorate accrual option. What happens here? In this scenario, employee will not get any leaves for the current year. That is, for the year 2024, the employee will not be getting any leaves. Only on 1 Jan 2025, system will be adding leaves based on the policy set. So it is very important for you to add prorate accrual if you want to add leaves based on date of joining. So if you don't find the prorate accrual option, simply click on advanced option. Click on prorate accrual. There are few more advanced options specific to prorate accrual. So you can click on more. So we have these options: prorate by number of effective months, number of effective days. So we have this example, an employee joining on the month of February. If you go with this option number of effective months, employee will be getting 11 days of leave starting from February till December. But if you go with the option number of effective days, and if the employee is joining on 10th of February, then system will accurately start counting the number of days from February 10th till 31st of December. So in this case, obviously the leave balance is not going to be 11 days, it will be around 10.8 or 10.7. So if you want this accurate proration based on number of days, you can go with this option. And whenever you are prorating the leave balance, employees might get leaves in decimal values. For example, 10.7. This 0.7 is something that employee cannot use when applying for leave. So what you can do is, you can also enable the round off option available over here. So you can round off your leave balance to nearest day, half day or a quarter day. However, you need to keep a note here that the round off option will only work for prorated leave balance, not for the accrued leave balance of an employee. So once this is set, you have one more option here which is called first month rule. So let's take an example that you are prorating the leave balance based on number of effective months starting from February to December. And you would like to set up a first month rule. That is, if an employee is joining between 1st till 15th of a month, I will be giving 1 day of leave. That is the credit for the entire month. But if someone is joining after 15th of a month, you are not going to give the complete credit for the month. It is going to be only 0.5 days. If that is the case, you can add the first month rule. So you can say 1st to 15th, the leave count is 1. You can click on add rule and then you can say from 16th till 31st, it is going to be 0.5 days. So once the policy is set, you can click on submit. So this is about defining accrual for a specific entitlement in this leave type.